It's empty. All right. Successful Indie Author 5-Minute Focus, episode 252, The Paucity of Success. What I'm looking at is people who have the negative attitude about, hey, they've written a book and now they can't sell it and that's it, the end of the world. I'll never make it as an author. No, you won't. Attitude is everything. You've got to understand that it takes a lot of work, that this isn't a one and done. Hey, I wrote a book just out of the blue. It takes study. It takes learning. It takes continuous improvement. Your magnum opus is not going to be your first book. I'll tell you that right now. If it is, well, you're one in a gazillion. Generally, people have to work at it. Anything where you're a professional, you have to work at it to get better and better until you're at the top of your game. The people who are at the top of the lists, who's number one bestsellers, who are always up there ahead of you in sales and exposure, those people worked hard to get there. That's not just, hey, my first book came out and I'm number one overall in the whole Amazon store. No, it takes a lot of work to get there. So hope without a plan is a dream. You've got to decide, hey, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to be a professional author. And that means I need to take some steps. I either need to write better. I need to market better. I need to put on better covers. I need to understand the biz better. If you're just saying, hey, I want to hit number one, and you're just writing and writing and writing without ever studying, without ever getting feedback, without ever seeing, hey, these characters don't relate or they do relate, but the plot is bad. What do I do to make this better where the readers have to embrace it? I use The Hunger Games as an example. Suzanne Collins, she wrote a different series first, Gregor in the Underworld. I went back and read that. Hey, pretty good series. I could see where it lacked stuff, but then The Hunger Games, she learned, she improved, and put this together. And hey, those were books that read well. So a book without relatable characters. This is something that the characters move the plot forward. This is something I kind of understood innately in science fiction because I read a lot of thousands of science fiction books before I started writing. And I'm talking with John Truby. He's like, the characters, people come back for the characters. Plots cannot stand on their own without characters moving them forward because the watchers, the readers, they embrace those characters. So the characters need to be relatable, and then they carry the plot forward. But the plot is there. However, you need something moving it forward. You can't just have all plot, all technical stuff, all special effects. You see a lot of movies today where it's all effects and there's no characters. And you watch it once and say, hey, neat special effects. And then you don't ever watch it again. And that's because the characters aren't moving that plot forward. Cloud and rain. This is what separates the wheat from the chaff. After failure, what do? The rain, that makes stuff grow. So you got to have those dark clouds because then you can grow and get better. Sun and rain bring rainbows. Yes, they do. Every obstacle works to separate those who want it from those who want it easy. When it's hard, you keep going. If you have a plan, okay, here's my plan. I'm not quite there. I haven't quite nailed character development yet, but I'm going to keep going. And my fans, as I bring more fans on board, they're encouraging. And this is the great thing about the readers of today is a lot of them will take a pet author and follow them through their journey and love their stuff and say, oh yeah, this is cool. This is good. And encourage you. My first book, I look back, I'm like, oh man, looks like a moron wrote this. But the readers love the story and they give me extra props because they know that was my first book. And the more recent books, yes, they hold them to a higher standard, but they give me they're okay. It's like a handicapping of the system that holds you to that high standard on your first book. Now, when you bring new readers on board, just understand and put it out there. Hey, this is the logical progression of the books that I've written. Be a better person. Be a better person. Take care of yourself and take yourself to a better place. One and done is not the way to business or be a professional. It's a constant journey. You can't jump to the top of the mountain. People talk about climbing Mount Everest. Well, they've commercialized that to the where it's not, hey, this is your Everest. It takes a lot of steps to get there. You can't walk to 29,000 feet without going through all the work there, being in shape to be able to breathe, even with extra oxygen. It's a challenge, just like writing, just like any profession where the rewards are vast when you get to the top of the game. And I'll tell you, they are vast and they're never ending. Even J.K. Rowling and Harry Potter keeps advertising Harry Potter, new books. Well, there's no new books, but look at this, new edition. And yeah, people suck them up and they stay up there at the top and people keep buying them. Advertising Harry Potter, everybody in the world has read that, haven't they? No. 9% of the population of the world who reads in English has read Harry Potter. 9% of the readers, that's all. And that's over $1 billion worth of book sales. So that's the mountain. You can get there if you keep going. But of course, it's a mountain. It peaks, right? It gets narrower and narrower towards the top. That's because people fall off to the wayside. They either run out of time or they just don't have those characters that relate. But you can make a great living at this without having that home run of a company picking it up and making movies out of it and everybody worshiping at the altar of the author. No, that's you don't need that to make a great living at this. And nobody knows who I am, and I do quite well, and I'm happy with this. And it's a great, it's the best job I've ever had. Hard work, still the best job. Peace, fellow humans.